I am back. What you missed is that while they were organizing their protest, I went up and talked to the sheriffs. They're handing out a piece of paper, not a filed order or anything that looks official. They're handing out a piece of paper. And I recorded this regularly because I didn't want to miss any of it or have any mic problems. And so I recorded it, and I'm going to put it up later because it was very interesting. I was asking the sheriffs to interpret what the order said and what they would use as a basis to make arrests. And they said that if anybody came on the steps of the courthouse property, which is state property, and the sidewalk is City of San Jose property, and engaged in expressive activity, they would make arrests. And I pointed out to them that this is done all the time at courthouses throughout the state, and they said they would make an arrest and that they had interpreted and read the order. So I'm going to turn it around and show you what's happening. They put 5 police officers out here for a group of about 30 protesters protesting family courts. And if you look at my last video, one of the attorneys, the man who is in the blue shirt, is Robert Powell. And he's a federal civil rights attorney who fights for children, people who have lost their children in family court. He fights for them in federal court when their rights have been violated. And he gave a really good speech about don't think that enforcing your rights is going to get you your kids back. And he really does coach people on how to get their kids back. He tells them not to engage in these protests and not to engage in First Amendment activity because the judges will retaliate and the system will retaliate. So I'm going to show you the police officers and the order that they're trying to enforce. I don't know why these guys aren't coming over here because they said they were going to be over at noon and it's a little after noon. But if you go back and watch my last video, the last video is about Robert Powell, a civil rights attorney. And I want to tell you an interesting story because I just told it to the sheriffs. A few years ago, there was a sheriff's deputy sitting in his patrol car in Gilroy, California. And the area that he was patrolling was outside the jurisdiction of the Gilroy police. And he responded to a domestic violence call or disturbance. And he got into a relationship with the mother involved in a custody dispute. And they had sex in his patrol car. They engaged in a number of activities that certainly he shouldn't have been doing as a police officer. And then he helped her forge orders to game the system. So he literally used his job and his influence at the courthouse in order to help her gain custody of her kid to get a romantic advantage in a relationship. And Robert Powell was the attorney that filed the federal case on that. I did explain that to these sheriff's deputies. He's one of their own. If these police officers don't speak up, then that kind of stuff's going on. So I'm going to turn around, we're going to go up, and we're going to look at this order these sheriffs are holding out. Hold on, guys. You know I'm old at this. Okay, here we go. So there were 4 police officers out here a minute ago. And I'm going to go and show the order. You guys, I'm live streaming now. So if you want to put that order up, people are interested in seeing the order that you're out here to hand out and enforce. You want to hold that up for me? I don't have hands to hold it. And as I explained earlier, my reading glasses don't read that font. So I would like you to hold a copy of the order. It'll be recorded live and everybody will see what you're enforcing. I'm sorry? And you consider that lawful service when you hand it out. Is your body cam on so that you're documenting who you served with the order? Okay. So when somebody tells you they can't read the order and you hand it to them, do you consider that proper service? You had 4 officers out here. Are the other 2 on lunch break? Are they not coming back because the protest isn't a threat, or what's going on? So these are the orders he's copied. They're plain papered orders. The last officer told me it was from the presiding judge, who is Judge Zahner. It is in fact signed by Judge Lucas. Here is the big dangerous threat that is coming to the courthouse that has assigned 4 sheriff's deputies. Okay, I'm gonna try to read your comments sideways, you guys. Fix the camera. What am I supposed to do with the camera? Lewis, tell me what I'm doing wrong with the camera. I've got it horizontal, trying to give you all angles. So if I go this way, can you guys see better? Can you guys, is it only filming in that? He's making a call because the protesters are on the move. Protesters are on the move. They're coming to the courthouse. It's a dangerous threat. The police are trained to make arrests. It's very dramatic. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to dual film right here. I got 3 cameras going. Could use some camera backup, by the way, if anybody wants to pop down and do some camera backup. Okay, hold on. You guys are going to see a little funky stuff while I get ready. I do not want to stop my battery from going. Let's try to get this over a couple hundred people here today. I am dual filming this so that I can have video later. I filmed some other stuff for my channel that I'll put up later of the police officers describing the order. Oh, they went to the civil courthouse. That was not expected by the sheriff's deputies. Look at that. They were expecting them to come here and they went to the civil courthouse. I'll be back, boys. This is kind of exciting. Yesterday, I chased Jim Hoover down the street here. He's an attorney that's going around trying to racketeer attorney's fees out of domestic violence victims. So I just sometimes stand here because you never know what's going to happen. But the protest is now outside the civil courthouse, not the family courthouse. So there are some camera guys over there. I didn't miss it, but I'm wondering what the police are doing because they had 4 police officers all lined up to guard the family courthouse because these are family courthouse issues. And the protesters did a switcheroo and went down to the civil courthouse and they're walking on the sidewalks. So I am going to go back and watch the police. They called and they said that the protesters were on the move and it was a big dramatic moment. I am filming this on my other camera in the horizontal position. Oh, she's now calling them back. Let's go see what they have to say. I guess the protesters weren't the dangerous threat the sheriffs were lined up this morning to do. This is what we call the walk of shame, people. The walk of shame. The social media made it sound like there was going to be a big protest. The judges and the attorneys hate when people protest family courts. It lets the public know what's going on. They had lots of sheriff's deputies assigned to this today. And there they go, walk of shame back into the courthouse. The protesters were not a threat. And they didn't even come to this courthouse where they were lined up with their orders printed on paper, trying to arrest people for expressive activity. But here we go. They're all going to chat about that now. Let's get them chatting about that. Their body cams were on me. I was on them. Hi, Officer Ray. How are you? You guys didn't have any protesters to arrest. Is that disappointing for you? Yeah, it's a little disappointing. Officer Ray especially likes arresting protesters. I see you're still pimping out that Lucas order on plain paper. Yeah, it's been modified because it used to say they could arrest on a sidewalk and then the county government had to change that order. That is the absolute walk of shame, people. If I am proud of anything, I am proud of filming how the police were going to respond to this and catching exactly what they were going to do. Because 3 years ago, they arrested a protester on that sidewalk. The order has been modified. There were 5 to 6 cops assigned out here today, and all the protesters went a different way, changed it up, and they did not know what to do. So I just want to let you know I'm filming this both ways. We have a cameraman with the protesters, and we're going to wait. They're going to probably circle back around, and I'm going to watch what the police are doing. You guys all taught me what the walk of shame was. And if ever I've seen a walk of shame, that was it. They were lined up. They had these fake orders. They were going to go after the protesters again 3 years later. Same pattern in practice. And this time the protesters went another way. They're looping around the civil courthouse, which deals with the federal issues here. If they're brought into state court, but civil court is where you bring issues of some of your rights and torts claims. And the civil courthouses aren't working very well here either. In fact, just this last week, I've heard recordings of Judge Overton, the civil harassment and unlawful detainer judge in the county, and she has been threatening attorneys. She's been doing some funny business with real estate cases, getting people to stipulate to use her as a mediator. So we're watching all this, and this is what it's like to do local news. It means knowing the names of the police officers. It means knowing the names of the local government authorities. And it means knowing the pattern and practice, because there was no mainstream media out here this time or when there was an arrest on that public sidewalk in 2018. And so if mainstream media isn't going to cover what's going on in the local community at the courthouses, then we have to do it. And you guys have taught me to watch the police, to know what they're going to do. And sure enough, today they did exactly what they did 3 years ago. And they lined up out there to arrest and keep the protesters away from the courthouse because it was embarrassing to them. And Sergeant Ray has been doing this since 2016. He is contracted. In fact, we'll look up his salary on Transparent California. I'm going to try to read some of your comments. I really appreciate all of you guys. We had over 200 last time. I think it got up to 1,700 in between my feeds. I did do some filming that was really interesting in between because I didn't want to risk it going live. But we did get the walk of shame on this video. I think I caught it on my other one. And we have some camera people with the protesters. So we'll just keep watching and seeing if they're going to make more arrests. But that is all, you guys. I am going to wait till the protesters come back, Larry. I appreciate that. It might be a little boring until they get back here. They've got to go around a long block. But the police clearly went inside. They did the walk of shame. And I miss what somebody said about the walk of shame in Laurel and Hardy. By the way, whoever just made the comment about the San Joaquin Courthouse, I'm going to Stanislaus County this week, and we're going to be live streaming because we have some police and court issues there too. So look for my live stream there. We are going to make sure that we keep showing what the police are doing in local communities. And I'm going to look up how much money each of those police officers makes. I also have court contracts. I'm going to go through that. And this is what they call keeping the courthouse secure. They are trying to keep protesters away. And what are there, 30 protesters with signs that are upset about courts taking their kids and violating their rights. And they consider these people the most dangerous threat to the courts. They don't consider the attorneys who are going in and forging orders, or the expert witnesses who are lying, or the court-appointed attorneys and experts who are stealing money in houses and earning obscene amounts of money in these courts. No, it's the 20 protesters that want to talk about it or want to try to get it on the news. I am going to Stanislaus County, and I don't know which courthouse. I'll get that tonight when I talk to the person. I think the person is actually here. Interesting story about the Stanislaus Courthouse. They had a court clerk, which is sometimes called the court CEO, by the name of Rebecca Fleming. And she had a serious issue. account, whoever just said they'll email me. If you guys don't have my email, it's usually linked into the description. It's gilroybassey@gmail.com. And I will tell you where I'm going tomorrow or the next day, where we're going to live stream from the courthouse, because there's this court, they call them the CEO of the courts, which is the person who manages the court clerks, the business of the courts. And it's a big business. They spend an annual budget, even in the pandemic, is $82 million on the salaries for the people who work inside this courthouse. And the court clerk is responsible for all of it. And Rebecca Fleming was recently ordered to the 6th District Court of Appeal on a contempt case because she was not preparing records on appeal as her job required. That's a dereliction of duties. And we're going to start to talk about dereliction of duties more, because we don't do that often enough. And that's when public employees, elected officials, don't do the job that they're supposed to do and that they're paid to do. And Rebecca Fleming has not done the job she was paid to do. There is an appearance that she has operated in a corrupt manner in Stanislaus, and then was hired in Santa Clara County, where she has also been overseeing and supervising people who are breaking the law, violating people's rights, collecting money improperly, fining and sanctioning people more than is provided under the law. And they are especially doing this to parents, unrepresented parties, the indigent or the poor, the elderly, and that's the issue. So we're going to keep talking about it. We're going to talk about the individuals involved. And here comes the protesters this way. Protest. Judges taking their children in family court proceedings. So for those of you who have never had to deal with family court, you might not understand these issues. But in family court, unlike criminal court, you're not guaranteed an attorney. And what's in... Can I back up, you guys? Sorry, that was interrupted. That was a walk of shame. I'm so proud of that walk of shame, George. You have no idea. So if you saw, the police were out here earlier anticipating this big giant threat. We're threatening to arrest anybody who came up on the court property. They had their little fake orders out. And in fact, according to them, this is expressive activity. And they would come and hand out that order and probably arrest this little boy and his dog and his dad. And so we're going to watch the police and see what they do. These people are standing exactly where they just said they could not stand. They are expressing their First Amendment rights. which Santa Clara courts have a hard time doing. But I suspect, based on the numbers on that walk of shame video, that they're watching these videos and they're seeing what they actually look like out here against these protesters, and they decided to wait inside. So not only is it the walk of shame, it is the stay inside the courthouse walk of shame, because they're not coming back out. And these people are doing exactly what a police officer just told me that the fake order issued by the former presiding judge, Patricia Lucas, prohibits. That order was modified by the county council, James Williams, to remove the sidewalk part where there was a protester arrested. And so here are attorneys coming in and out, watching the protesters. Hi there. Are you an attorney? What is your name? You're Peter what?
Lindstrom.
Lindstrom, you're on my YouTube live stream. I'm Susan Bassey. We're filming the protest.
Hi, you seem nice enough.
Very good.
You're helping our kids. You're helping our kids. So we're looking for a solution so the kids don't have to suffer now. Oh, awesome. Well,
What is your name? Let's give you a shout out.
if she feels.
Good
job.
No, we're going to give your attorney a shout out. If he's helping
Yes.
you, we're trying to support all the attorneys that are standing up for what's going on in the courthouse. Peter Lindstrom, are you in San Jose? So you're on Susan Bassey's YouTube channel live. That's not always a good thing, but Robert Powell was on just before you, and he does a lot of... You know what? That is a big deal. Were you court appointed? Right. Were you? Thank you, Peter. Thank you for helping, and thank you for being one of the good guys. One thing that I notice is that attorneys who will turn and talk to me are usually not part of the problem. So notice the police and their walk of shame. They have stayed inside the courthouse. They're not coming out to threaten the protesters. Patricia Lucas's order on its face is unconstitutional and it is void. And I'm going to go and give you a front end view, because the police just told me if these people did this, they would arrest them. And they're now hiding inside because we were filming them. We have them on camera explaining the order. Yes, I did. They did a walk of shame live on my YouTube channel, Bob. I'm so happy to see you. Wait. This is Bob Saunders. You are live on my YouTube channel. Bob Saunders was arrested in a courthouse for asking a judge about his bond. You are my hero, Bob. I adore you. It's very nice to see you.
My mask off, I'd be like shades of red. Yeah, thank you. You do wonderful work. I love you.
Bob Saunders, you are the hero. You were starting it first. I have that video. In fact, I'm going to do something with that video.
Oh, the one
where you get arrested.
Oh, yeah. Eight
the body cams.
Oh, actually, I remember one time the elevator where we go to the courthouse says to me, seven sheriff's officers.
Hey, I had
No,
9 on me.
I said it was 8. I said, look at me, do I look like that? And there were like 2 people in the elevator, and they're like, let me tell you, the best thing that could happen to everybody is get arrested.
That's right. We're all going to get arrested.
Fear of getting arrested.
That is
I mean,
right.
I'm sorry they hurt you, but had they just arrested you, which is what they should have done. I mean, not done, but I'm saying, but had they done that only, it would have been less painful for you. But, you know, they screw up.
You know what, Bob? It wasn't breaking my hand that upset me the most. Do you know what it was?
Right.
Stealing my phone and
Well,
looking
that-
through my contacts where
Yeah,
my
they believe
sources
they have a
are.
right to do that. That's
Yeah,
why I
they
always
don't
tell
have a
people,
right. That's
lock
illegal
up your
seizure.
phone.
That's
If they-
right.
If they break your phone, then they've damaged your personal property. They have no right to do it. It's one thing they can seize your phone. They can't break your phone.
Well, they can't unlawfully seize your phone like they did to me. So, anyway, yep, we just got the sheriffs to do the walk of shame in there. So now we're going to
I know. I
keep.
saw they left. I told Michelle. I said, stand your ground. I
That's
said,
right.
"You
We're
Sorry,
standing our
being all
ground.
weird earlier. I was just like, I didn't know if
That's
people
okay.
come in and
I know.
They're like,
I ran them off. 5 cops. I ran them off. I'm excited about that.
And then they came out with-
One little camera and one little grandma made those cops go back in that courthouse. Okay, so they have this van for their protesting. This is kind of awesome, you guys.
Foreign policy, that means it is an invasion of our country, and they need to stop it, because it's their job. It's right there, sheriff's job to do. They need to get down here and investigate this real crime that's happening in their community, and stop investigating complaints that aren't crime, that lead to our children being stripped. 14th Amendment, children have the right to live with their parents without government interference. That's real law. Where are they? Get out here and enforce real law. Otherwise, we don't need them. We don't need sheriffs. We don't need the police department if they're not going to enforce real law. They need to. Because you know what? The complaints cause me damages. Racketeering, fraud, conspiracy, unethical, and morally disgusting. No, they need to get out here. They really do, because that's what we need to demand it from them. Because that is their job. That's our tax dollars. Those are our tax dollars. That's why they need to demand it. Demand them follow real law.
CPS and the courts are corrupt.
No, these cops need to come out here. The cops need to come out here. Really.
If you got,
Come out.
they said if they would arrest you all if you came out on the state property. In fact, right where you're standing, they said you weren't
Oh, no,
allowed.
they need to come out here because they need to investigate this real crime that's happening in their community.
If you stand up there and protest, they're probably going to come out.
Well, they need to investigate real crime.
Give us back our children.
Really?
Give us back our children. 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 Give us
Dude, Michelle Chan's a badass. Look at her going right up to the courthouse door where they said they were going to arrest him. You guys watching this? This is exactly what the sheriff said Patricia Lucas's fake order would not let them do.
Give us back our children.
Give us back our children!
much needed. And from that moment, I went to a place that I thought I was going to get help in, and that place victimized both me and my family. My children are with a 2-strike felon that has child pornography charges. His name is Frank Souza. I fought in that family court for my oldest 2 children, and the bailiff would intimidate me. I just want to point out that this bailiff has his body cam on right now. And they're going to go, and they're going to review the body cams. And they're going to see who's on that body cam. And those people will be retaliated against. And that is what's happening at my courthouse in Stanislaus County. The court CEOs are aware that certain attorneys are involved in racketeering with certain judges. They are in violation of their oaths of office. They're in violation of constitutional, federally protected fundamental parental rights, which they know. And they continue to do this behavior because no one holds them accountable because of absolute or qualified immunity. And under Harlow versus Fitzgerald, excuse my voice, we've been chanting, Harlow versus Fitzgerald, absolute immunity does not exist for someone who would reasonably know that their actions would cause harm. And that's what's happening in our courts. They'll try to use Waco versus Morales. As we've seen with the George Floyd protest, people are sick and tired of government overreach. They're sick and tired of victimization of children under the color of law. When children are dying in foster care and those deaths are not being reported, we have a problem.
We have a problem when you don't do your job. It's your guys' job.
Thank you for coming today.
Thank you, everyone.
Hours and no emergency justifies
want to
the
say
violation
something?
of our.
Erin, does anyone have something to say while we're here? And since we're amazingly not getting kicked off, that's incredible.
Yeah, you know why? Because I come with real law. I come with real codes, and they know it.
Thank you for coming.
Really, I'm serious. I come with real law, and it's their duty. It's your duty. It's your duty as a sheriff. Shame on you. Shame on you for not coming out here and investigating real crime. Shame on them. I mean, I have stuff that I was gonna play.
Provision of the United States Constitution.
Okay. This is a real law that they need to
She's gonna play something, and play it.
Cindy Papa of the Clara.
Because this is what we need to do right here, is what this girl did. We need to serve them all. It's right there, calm, okay? You really do. See, they don't like you. Come on, come here, I got real law for you to learn. Come over here.
Do we all want to move back over?
Come on, I got real law.
Guys, let's move back over so that let's all come back together in the group.
Says every single one of you, I'm about to plan notice.
Non-negotiable
Here, come here.
notice.
You guys are all sheriffs? Good, because I got notice.
Non-negotiable notice of complaint.
Hey guys, how are you?
All your guys' badge numbers.
Oh, we have a lot of police officers. In fact, you guys might outnumber the protesters.
Complaint is to
Right there,
inform the
Sheriff.
Palm Beach County Mayor,
You
Gary
guys are all
Turner,
sheriffs.
Vice
Do your
Mayor
job.
Robert S. Weinroth, Palm Beach County Commissioners
your
Melissa
job.
McKinley, Greg K. White,
No, I don't want
Matt
that.
Bernard, Mary
Until you
Burger,
start doing your
and
job, you don't need too much. That's all.
following violations.
You see that, Sheriff? Directing to the people. You guys are supposed to hold constitutional law. That's their right. Here,
It's just
I don't need your constitutional law. I'm willing to get all your information.
You know you work for us, right? You work for me. You work for me. Not them, you work for me.
Did you get your order, Bob? You got that order?
Yeah, well, actually, you can't make a court order against the legality of the Constitution, so it's a First Amendment violation.
Absolutely.
So what we need to do is,
It's been a First Amendment violation since they arrested Scott Largent.
Patricia Lucas.
Yeah, it's Patricia Lucas.
Okay, so
Patricia Lucas.
So that's animus.
Yeah, Patricia Lucas. She is the Judicial Council legal advisor.
That's what you guys what you need to do. You guys want to call the law?
Oh, Officer Ray, here we are 3 years later, same place, same time, same issue, same unconstitutional order. How you doing? Did you call all that back up after they got a little loud outside the door? The Walk of Shame went on my YouTube channel and I noticed they called reinforcements. Did you know when you were not worried, you were so worried about what I was reporting on in that courthouse that they were literally putting an imposter real estate agent on the stand to sell properties and forge documents? Did you know that, Officer Ray? And you were enforcing an unconstitutional order. A lot of public resources on an unconstitutional order. Sheriff Smith, know you're doing this?
I'm not person of problem.
Isn't that First Amendment activity you guys told me they couldn't do on the steps? They were doing it. How about that? Was it just because they outnumbered you that you decided not to do it? can understand when people are talking about defunding the police that they might see this as a waste of public resources, right? These people are protesting courts taking their children. They do not have weapons. They are not dangerous. Maybe they have misdemeanor criminal history because it was conjured up in family court. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sheriff's deputies. All of you probably making over $200,000 a year. And your supervisor, Sergeant Ray, back there on the phone again with all, oh, here we go, another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 police officers, 1 sergeant in the back on the phone. Last time he said he wasn't on the phone with Patricia Lucas, so I wonder who he's on the phone with now. That's a big waste of public resources out there, Sergeant Ray. Who made a threat assessment that those protesters were such a threat to justify 9 police officers? Who would make that call? Would that be you, or would that be Sheriff Smith? Or would that be a judge inside the courthouse? Hold on, guys. I'm fixing a camera. It is absolutely amazing to me that they have this many police officers. The police officers are probably 1 for every 2 protesters. There have been protests all over the country over different issues, and there has never been this ratio of police officers for this kind of protest. This makes everyone question why the police outside a public courthouse would be this concerned that we would, more. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Officer Ray and another one in the back. We've got 10 or 11 police officers, and there's probably 30 protesters. But what they are protesting, they do not want the public to hear. Mainstream media is blacklisting it. 200. Officer Alvarez, badge number, please. I'm sorry. 2403. Officer Swenson, badge number. I'm sorry? 2700? 1770. And your Officer DeLara. Badge number, please. 2438. Thank you, Officer DeLara. Hello, officer. I don't think I got your name and badge number. I'm collecting RIEHL badge number. 2406. Thank you. I said it wrong. Let's practice my LAs again. Ready? Officer Jaramillo. Really close. Okay. Jaramillo. 2434. Thank you, sir. By the way, you guys don't forget, you have a criminal case against me. I'm being prosecuted, so all your body cams are now exculpatory evidence. You got to make sure Jeff Rosen gets that so that they can all see it. We're going to pull him down now. Officer, can I get your name, please, and your badge number? Excuse me, are you refusing to identify?
So you talking to me now?
Yes, I am.
My name's Review. My badge number 1686.
Officer Owens, badge number 1686. Thank you, sir. They're going to pull him down now, Officer Ray. They're going to take him down. That seems like a lot of use of public resources for some protesters that are just upset about their kids, don't you think? Okay, we're gonna film the walk of shame now, you guys. Okay, guys. I know that last one was sketchy filming because I was trying to do both at one time. I've got my live stream in one hand, my iPad in another. People are filming me. My hair is falling in my eyes. But we got 2 walks of shame from the Santa Clara Sheriff's Department.
No, I don't do that kind of work. This is for criminal court.
Oh, man.
Oh, even better. We just got really good live video of 9 sheriff's deputies out there on the protesters that probably outnumbered them by 2 to 1. That was it. What's your name?
Albie?
Albie? Thank you, sir. Okay, is my screen better, you guys? Sorry, that was a little bit, I had to, black screen. I don't know how to get it. I don't know why it's black. Okay, can you see it now? Oh my gosh. All right, hold on. I don't know why it's doing that. You still can't see? Okay, I've flipped my screen. Hold on. You did great. Huh?
I'm going to this barbecue. I'm starving.
Okay, hold on. I need to, I'm having trouble with my live stream.
Let me try this thing.
It's saying I have a black screen.
How did we do? Did we do good?
Yeah, I'm live streaming right now, but I need backup. It's still black. Okay, guys, I don't have my finger on it. Can you see me yet? My finger's not on it. I can see the screen. Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm gonna go off. I had to film that because that was 2 walks of shame, and I'll put this up later.